Welcome back, Keepers of the Flame. Okay, so we need you out here today because I have now 4 chickens and 2 ducks, and they are in my room, being kept safe from the cats. Sophie, I think is cool. Lilith had a little bit of trouble overriding her primal instincts. So for now, this is our setup. I take them on the weekdays, and my daughter will take them in her room on the weekends. It's like a sauna in there with that heat lamp. Oh my lord. I don't think Sophie's too happy with me right now though, because I leave the door open for her, just in case she wants to come in and snuggle. So yeah, we'll just see how. Maybe I suppose I'll send some energy of young life in your direction in between videos. How does that sound? I'll give you a little ducky chicken fix. Okay. I think we're gonna do. I definitely, Cancer's on the brain right now, so like I want to get a reading for Cancer done, and then I'm not sure who I want to do next. I think it might be Virgo. Yeah. Okay, so what I've been doing for this like new moonish energy is drawing from Oracle. So let's see what Cancer needs to know for like food. This is the Green Witch Oracle. What does Cancer need to know for food going forth? What should they put in that garden? What suits Cancer best right now? Fertility. Ooh. That's the North Node. Watermelon. Ooh. Look what's in that little vial right there. That is alchemy, darling. Ooh, child. All right. Little rip, Cancer. So for those of you who are involved and are looking to get, that's definitely a possibility right now. Not a bad idea to get going on that. You can click off and come back later. Pardon the pun. So, but also like for those of you who are like, I hear you. I totally feel that. Like you're going to be birthing something else. So it might be an idea. It might be a project, a new way of life, a new way of thinking, a new belief structure. You're birthing something that is brand spanking new out of your insides. Not from an outside energy. That's the whole idea of fertility, is that there's something in you already that needs to be brought forth. So try to kind of concentrate on what that might be for you. And remember that like the sky's the limit right now. Because everything is starting to really, really open up. We're starting to remember to respect our minds and our hearts and our bodies more, rather than just slave away. You know, we're getting out of that Capricornian Pluto energy where we're like slaving away over the material things. Now we're going to get into the ever expanding knowledge of who we are and how we show up in the world and what really matters when it comes to our emotional waters, which includes, I think I've driven this home more than once on this channel, but the emotional waters are not just, some imaginary thing. They are, your heart pumps your emotional waters all throughout your body all day long. And I know that a lot of people are like, nah, yeah, This is all connected. You don't just get to escape frequency, energy, vibration because the white coats haven't shown you what it does in a petri dish. We have plenty of evidence. People die of broken hearts all the time. In fact, it's the leading cause of death right now. So Yep, emotional waters definitely need to be taken into account. So, okay. And that also goes with your menstrual cycles, right? With your, the women's aspect of things, letting go and shedding that inner lining and making room for the new, right? Men have their own menstrual cycles as well. So I know. Here we go. You just do. You go through your cycles of emotion with, like, usually it's the lunar movement. So pay attention. My masculine crowd needs to pay attention to their emotional waters around the moon cycles too, because that matters. It's not you have feminine aspects to you, and that feminine aspect is the rivers that are flowing through you in your veins and the ocean that's in your heart. Okay? So remembering to keep that in check, and just because you're not a woman doesn't mean you're not involved in pregnancy either. So be careful on that aspect of things. Okay? So if that's not what you're looking for right now, wrap it up. Okay? What else? That's all I'm getting from that card. Well, look, I'll read the cards in watermelon and whatnot later. Right now, I'm like, oh, it's not watermelon season yet, though. Okay. Fairy Wisdom Oracle for Cancer. What does Cancer need to know from the fairies? Right there. The source of magic. Imagine that. I think you've already gotten this one, Cancer. There she is. This comes out a lot when I pull oracle cards from the fairies. It's interesting. Interesting. Okay, what does Cancerian need to know? Ooh, perspective. Milky Way. That's cool. Okay. So I'm going to go off the cards and then I'm going to read the books. Okay. So our choices, right? Our choices are coming into perspective right here, and the very thing that it affects, right? Sorry. Glareage, woohoo! A glare of the glare of the glaring. There we go. So, yeah, this feels like you bringing something to fruition that you've just held in, and you've held it sacred, like a little egg. It looks like she's holding a little egg there. You've held it sacred for a while. So, time to bring it out. Yeah, perspective as to how we all fit into this rotation around the sun and throughout the galaxy. Perspective. Trying to take all of it in all at once. Come to that deeper understanding of how best to bring your gift forward. All right, let's dig into it. 29 is the number on the Green Witch Oracle. And maybe if you're like, this, I don't get it. Maybe plant some watermelon. Watermelon, easy peasy lemon squeezy to grow. They do take up a hot bit of space. So, like, you could just do it along a fence line. That's what I like to do. Even if you have, like, perennials planted there, not a bad gig. Not a bad gig at all. They'll still grow. Okay? Okay. I have to scoot close, otherwise you're not going to see the picture. Okay. Alrighty. Here we go. Life begins the day you start a garden. And that's a Chinese proverb. The nurture of elements, the nurture of elements around you is highlighted, and watermelon energy shows you that you will reap what you've sown. The wisdom of nature is at the forefront, and answers, discoveries, and inspiration will be found there for you. Plan well, stick with things, and look after those around you. Challenges may be a failure to connect with others, and inauthenticity. It didn't show up upside down though, but I don't. I did go through and make sure they were upright. So, the cultivation for watermelon seeds require a warm soil of at least 21 degrees Celsius to germinate and usually do not do well in colder climates. Plant from mid-spring to mid-summer in temperate areas and early spring through midsummer in tropical places. The soil needs to be rich and the position should be full sun with plenty of space. Harvest when the resting spot on the bottom of the melon turns from white to a deep yellow. Uses sex magic, strength, aphrodisiac, blood substitute. That's what it says. Peace. And the deities are Set and Yamaya. And celestial is Mars. Astrological sign is Leo. Which is weird because that looks like the North Node, not Leo. Maybe it is though. Maybe that's how they draw Leo. Okay, that's cool. So the fertility spell. Create and grow anything in your life, including a baby, with this fertility candle. Scoop the flesh out of a watermelon and make juice or something edible from it. Share it and consume the flesh. Don't waste any of it. Right? Share and consume the flesh. Okay. So don't consume like the outside rind. Like I'm like, you're supposed to pickle that or what the heck? Write whatever it is you want to create and grow on brown paper and place it inside the melon. Put a green candle on top of the melon and light it. Let it burn down completely and then bury it under a healthy tree. Interesting. Learn something new every day. So, 26 is the number on this one. The source of magic. Keyword manifestation. This is the season. This is the season. Planting seeds right now. This is so manifestation. Magic is not just for fairies. You are also the source of magic. Every time you inhale and exhale, you breathe in the energy of source, whether you call it God, spirit, divinity, father, mother. It is the source of all that is. It resides in everything in our universe and within your own body. As a human being on earth, you are endowed with the gift of manifestation. Through your thoughts, visualization, feelings, and words, everything in your world you have thought into existence. Remember that what you focus on is what grows into manifestation, so be very careful where you place your attention. Like the fairies, bring as much joy and love into your heart and life as you can. Open yourself to receive. Think positive thoughts. Transmute negative feelings and thoughts into positive ones. If a negative picture should appear in your mind, replace it with a picture of a positive input. As soon you will see how things begin to shift as your life becomes happier and full of wonderful new changes. Always ask that what you need be given is for your highest good. When something is for your highest good, then it is also the highest good for others. No harm will come to others through your request. If it is not for your highest good, then it will not happen, and something better will replace it. You are the source of magic. The chant is, I replenish my body with the breath of spirit. I exhale in order that I may inhale again. My thoughts and words are clear and divinely inspired. I am open to receiving my good. I manifest all that is divinely possible for me. So be it. Make yourself a wand today. Ooh, that's not a bad idea. If you don't have any sticks in your neighborhood, or like research your tree. Each sign has their own specific tree. They used to use Hollywood for magic wands. So understanding that, like, what resonates with you as far as wands go is important too. You can go to your local craft store. They might have some. Although the last time I was there, man, were they sparse. Sometimes they'll have like some curly willow bark that you can use. That's really pretty. debarked. I'm sorry, the debarked. There's no bark on it, but it's the inside. It's really cool. What else? Oh, the negative coming into the positive. So remembering that life is not always going to be sunshine and rainbows. It's how we perceive our situation. Okay? It's how we perceive it. If it is for our highest good, then it's an acceptance of what is. And I am the first to say that as a fixed stellium sign, it's difficult ask. I completely understand that. But if you can go at it and saying, okay, I was clearly holding on to something I shouldn't have been holding on to, I freely release it for my highest good, and therefore everybody else's around you highest good. Okay. So it's not necessarily that you start lying to yourself about, well, this just isn't, the right time, or this, that, and the other time. Sometimes things are not in your highest good, even though you might have been led to believe they were. And that's a difficult thing to kind of navigate for people who are a little bit newer to manifestation. So just keep that in mind if you're like doing manifestation or whatever. That's a really, really important thing that I don't hear anybody talking about. If it's not for you, it's not going to come. If you force it, it will be hellacious. It'll be hellacious to get there, and it'll be hellacious when the universe says, I said no. And you did not listen. So forcing things, not a good idea. Allowing to come up for you what is there, and remembering that if you can get to that core of yourself and understand what you actually need and want and what's actually written on your heart already, it's probably the same thing you're getting. It's just that the rest of the world is like, you're not supposed to want that. You're supposed to hate that. You're not supposed to. So understanding that you need to get those voices in check. Okay. You need to keep yourself in check when you're exposing yourself to people who are trying to tell you what you're supposed to want and what you're not supposed to want, and what's allowable and what's not allowable. Okay. Understand that if you have a deep, deep yearning for something that isn't harming anyone, then it's supposed to be there. Okay. And if you have a deep yearning to harm someone, you have a lot of wounds to heal. Okay. So either way, being honest with yourself is still going to be the best avenue of moving forward, because if you can see that you have wounds to heal, you can go heal the wounds. Simple, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Yeah, it's going to take some work. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of sacrifice. Yeah, you're going to have to revamp your life. But hi, welcome to humanity. This is how it goes. Sorry, it's a shit show. It's not all one person's fault. So it's going to take a hot minute to get there. Be patient with yourself, okay? But now is definitely the time to start planting those lovely little new seeds, okay? So start now. Start today. This is the season for the manifestation, okay? And remembering that, being honest with yourself, because sometimes the world comes in and it tells you, this isn't what you want. This really isn't. And you're like, but it kind of is. And they're like, but you're not supposed to want that. It's not very cool. Okay, but this is what I want. And the world will continue to tell you, no, you're supposed to want this. No, I'm not. I'm supposed to want what I want. I've worked really hard to get here. And they're like, that's not very cool. Maybe not for you, but for me, this is a fucking blast. So get firm in yourself and your understanding of what your needs and wants are. And then if people are like, ew, well, then those just aren't your people. And that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Where did it go? Meadow. There it is. Okay. Milky Way. Yay.
perspective. The Milky Way is said to be one of the billions of galaxies in the observable universe. It contains between 200 to 400 billion stars in the one most familiar to us being the sun. The oldest star in our galaxy is 13.2 billion years old, said to be nearly as old as the universe itself, and the Earth is about 4.5 billion years old. Don't start. Here we go. Now, distances are measured in light years, and the Milky Way galaxy is believed to be 100,000 light years in diameter. The enormity and vastness stagger the mind and challenge the imagination. Yet it also gives us some notion of where we fit into all of this. Considered from this perspective, our usual frame of reference is put to the task. We're faced with a choice of abandoning our myopic vision in favor of seeing and accepting the bigger picture, or we can just allow ourselves to be overwhelmed by a sense of smallness and helplessness, yet know that we are composed of material from those very stars that inhabit the Milky Way. Thus, we are connected to Earth and the entire universe at all times, in life and in death. You have lost your perspective, and it is time to step back. Breathe and allow yourself to detach in order to gather information from your senses and regain your perspective about the situation. Detachment does not mean that you no longer care. It simply indicates that you are now looking at things from a different point of view. It is an outlook that is not clouded by emotions, judgment, or attachment to outcome, but instead maintains a non-reactive awareness of these things. The witness, and witness is capitalized here, the witness, that internal aspect of yourself that simply observes everything in your life, offers his or her eyes that hear. Through these lenses of pure awareness, you can examine all aspects of your experiences, physical, emotional, and mental, without denying anything. By doing so, you will come to understand a greater perspective than is typically justified by the ego, which allows you to see what is before you with clear vision and an open mind. That's why I love ending with this deck. Like, I don't need to say anything. So yeah, remembering that, like, when you're looking at the grand scale of things, and when it comes down to making yourself happy versus making another person happy, or a community of people happy, or whatever it is, right? The perspective that you came here for a reason, you have a purpose here, you have a fulfillment to manifest. And that doesn't belong to anybody but you. It never has and it never will. So give birth to what you need to give birth to here. Manifest whatever it is that you need to manifest. Okay? And send that frequency, energy, vibration out to the rest of us. Thank you. Okay? Love you, Cancer. Until next time, keep your flame down.